Good morning, good looking people. And you're good looking because you're always looking, and of course, you are finding the good in everything. How are you? Hope you're having a great week so far. Hope you've had a lot of success. Today's the 17th of Tammuz. That means it's a fast day today. I know it's not my favorite thing to do, but we will get through it. I wish everybody a nice, easy, and smooth fast, and you'll get to the finish line sooner than later. Today's Hayom Yom for the 17th of Tammuz is talking about the luchos, the tablets that came down with Moshe, and there were two sets of tablets. The first set of tablets, after Moshe saw the sin of the golden calf, he threw them and they broke them and they were destroyed. And then a couple weeks later, Moshe came with his second set of tablets. So today's Hayom Yom is comparing the first set to the second set. And before I read it inside, I want to talk about two concepts that are part of today's Hayom Yom. First of all, we all in our lives unfortunately make mistakes and we do things, and it is part of growth. It is part of our lives. We are human. However, when we fix those things and we amend them, we have the opportunity to come back stronger than where we were before. Think about it, for example, if God forbid somebody broke an arm or a bone. That bone, once it reinforces itself and the scar tissue builds up, that bone has the potential to be stronger than the way it was before. And the same thing when it comes to our relationships, both between us and other people and us with Hashem. If something happens, we have that opportunity not to just run away and bury our heads in the sand, but to do something about it and work at it. And it's a life mission in all different facets of our life. But if we do it and we're successful, we can come back stronger than we were before. Now, the second concept, that there are two ways of spirituality coming to this world. One is from the heavens down, a very, it's a very, what's the right word? It's, I'm not getting the word. It's coming from God down. While the other way of doing it is refining something here and bringing the godliness out of it. So taking something, refining it, working at it, and by doing that, we bring the godliness out of it. So now when we come back to the Hayom Yom, we're going to talk about the comparisons between the first tablets versus the second, and then we'll sum it all up at the end. Here we go. The difference between the first tablets and the second tablets can be outlined as follows. With regards to the tablets themselves, the first tablets were made by God, and the second tablets were made by Moshe. With the second tablets, there was a very special and spiritual writing that was engraved in the luchos, in the tablets. You were able to see them from all different angles, and that wasn't in the second set. Thirdly, when it came to the spiritual level of the Jewish people, when the Yidden, the Jewish people, got the Torah the first time around, they were at the level of tzaddikim. They were pure. They were at the top level. However, after the luchos were destroyed and they got them the second time, they were now at a level of what we call Bal Tshuva. And lastly, with regard to the spiritual level of Moshe, at the giving of the Torah, Moshe received a gift of 1,000 spiritual lights. They were taken from him at the sin of the golden calf, and they were not returned to him when the second tablets were given. However, he did receive them on Shabbos as stated in the Pri-Eitz Chaim. Now that we talked about all the superiors of the first over the second, here's the superior of the second over the first. And the second tablets were more superior in two different ways. They were given together with the laws of Midrash, Agadas, and the oral Torah, and a double measure of the secrets of divine wisdom. And also, when Moshe came down the mountain, his face was shining. So going back to the concept that we talked about today, especially where the first luchos were destroyed, then we got a second set. That second set actually had more advantages in some areas than the first set. And where it comes together with those concepts we talked about up front, number one, when we were talking about how the spirituality from above comes down versus taking something from down here and working it and refining it, think about it that the first set of luchos actually came from above down. They were very spiritual, very powerful, however, not everlasting, that they were destroyed immediately. However, the second set of tablets were worked on, refined, made from Moshe's hands, from us. Those are the everlasting tablets because they came from within. So they're not as powerful as the spiritual, but when we work on it and we do it, they can make them everlasting. So to sum up full circle is nobody's perfect. Sometimes we make mistakes. However, that's where growth is. It's taking that mistake or taking that moment and making it a learning moment. And if you can do that, for me, for all of us, that's where we can really grow. And that's where, when we're looking at the luchos, that the second set, even though it was the second set, that second set was stronger, more everlasting, and it's still around today as opposed to the first set. Have an easy fast. Have a wonderful day. I wish you all the best, and we'll talk more tomorrow.